What? 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 What have they done to when? When did this happen? Generic intro into that goes. We're back with another Scott Waz reaction. Today we're doing live service games, which actually only came out a couple months ago, which is actually quite kind of prevalent because right now there's a massive outage for anything affected by AWS right now, which is very interesting. Let's go ahead and jump on into this video.
Hey y'all, Scott here.
Next week should be the candy games for Halloween.
These games made me sick. They're that bad.
Oh.
Or maybe I shouldn't lick their discs that much.
Video games are the biggest moneymakers in entertainment today. Over 3 billion
As someone that hates
people
paid subscriptions,
play video games, with many genres that failed to reach an audience in previous years, now selling millions of copies with huge, dedicated fandoms. We have giant events celebrating the medium, large assortments of merchandise available in any store you can think of, more games releasing every single day than ever
a live
before.
service game is a game that even if you have
shutting down
like
studios,
the game,
mass layoffs
you don't have
the
it
board,
forever.
launch day disasters, rising prices, anti-consumer practices,
Last week's video.
and
Game
Luigi's
prices.
Mansion 2 HD.
Hey, can you spit on me?
Thanks.
I also love video games.
Feels like you can't check in on video game news anymore without being identified as a witness in the process. Something sticky is always going on.
What game is that?
Whether it's Donkey Kong's price point or war crimes. And with every game getting hit with controversies, whether they're justified or not, it just makes for an unpleasant experience.
Did that Assassin's Creed
in the know.
Samurai game ever come out? I heard about that one.
Piss dumb, or some of the most serious conversations you could possibly have. And do I want to hear what the gamers think about whaling? I might as well listen, because what the hell else is there to talk about video games these days? You ever actually sit down and watch one of them
I used to watch like
showcase events
E3
put
and
on
stuff.
by your best friends? Oh, me and Microsoft go way back. We've been through it all together. Them fucking me over, them pissing on my open wounds. Bing. So I can't wait to see
what about
wonders
Edge?
they have in store
God,
for
Edge
me
is
here.
atrocious. Muted for copyright, understandable.
Gosh, that was so my Microsoft.
That sucked. Well, Sony, they know me so
Hey, most of the time
well.
it's me being
They
like,
know
what
the
is this
exact
game?
Games I love to play.
Or I just straight up didn't care about
I'm
them.
hoping I don't give a f about this next game. Oh, booyah!
Nintendo.
I'll take anything.
And it's the color brown,
The
yep,
video
and
industry
they're gonna
has
charge you
made
for
me
it.
cynical
That's
as
Overwatch
hell, but
1,
when it
isn't
makes
it?
so much money, yet it's pumped back into CEO pockets and projects designed to capitalize on trends rather than create genuinely worthwhile experiences. And then when those fail, studios are shut down, developers are laid off, and the higher-ups have no idea why their stupid fucking dumb fucking trend-chasing projects fail after they give themselves a raise for doing nothing while they're sitting on a graveyard of franchises that customers would vastly prefer seeing again as just
Give me
normal
Titanfall
video
3,
games.
which
But no, let's
I
try to
believe
make
is
more trash
coming.
all about wasting your money, your time, and
I
their
mean,
resources.
Apex Legends was supposed to be.
Can you blame me? Well, easier than blaming the video game industry itself, it gave me balls. But you know, this
With a
isn't really
Z.
a new concept. Pretty much every generation this happens. It's just served up a little differently. It's like how
What
brown
game?
and gray shoes
Oh, I
were
played
the
that one.
thing back in the Xbox 360 PS3 days. With
Is there a
lots
new
of
Gears of-
DLC,
New
can't
Gears of War
forget
isn't out
that.
yet.
Or cutesy cool mascot platforms.
I need to get back
on
to
the
streaming.
Super
I haven't
Nintendo
streamed in
and
so
Genesis.
long, and I hate
You know,
it.
Lots of studios were forced to make games like this because they were in. And you can find endless accounts of corrupt business practices and horror stories throughout all of gaming history. Though I feel in modern times, we're hitting
Spider-Man
a
just
breaking
slammed
point with
into
these
a building.
practices due to how absurd budgets are for video game projects and how
Yeah, where's the
long
money
they
go?
take to finish. Makes it so then when companies chase trends, by the time they catch them, it's 5 years later. Nobody cares anymore. And they spend hundreds of millions of dollars for nothing. And what's the type of game that everybody is trying to make that's aiding in the
live
collapse
service.
of society?
Bad.
Live service
Oh wait, Skull and
games.
Bones,
Now,
was that like the
what's that
quadruple
bad?
A
Picture
game?
this. Your video game
Wasn't it Ubisoft?
never ends. You boot it up and are consistently
Who are
served
these,
new
these
content.
people?
It's almost
Overwatch
like it's
2. When
alive.
did that game come out?
That's really cool.
I rember playing the
Yeah,
beta. I was
I'm
like,
gonna be
oh
honest
yeah,
with
I can't
you.
wait
The
to play this with my
concept of a
friends when
live service
Overwatch 2
game
comes out.
is honestly incredible. Your game no longer has a definitive end. It evolves over time. New content added regularly, frequent updates, a community of players.
Is that better or
experiencing this
worse
all
than
together.
EA Sports?
That sounds awesome!
Where every year it's the same game over and over again.
Might be because I haven't cleaned my ears in a while.
But hey, it's almost like I never have to buy another video game ever again. If the one I'm playing never ends, what's the point?
I played Dota too.
Alright, well,
Never
let's
played
take a
it.
look at a successful live service game to see what the hell is going
Would
on here.
World of
This
Warcraft
is
be that?
Fortnite.
Yeah?
And
Well, they've been
this
down
is
today
my
because
credibility.
AWS has
Gone!
been
Listen, let's be
down
real here.
kind of
As
all
much
day,
as
which
it's
is
easy to
wild.
clown around
Didn't
on
affect
Fortnite
Amazon's
because
stock
I've seen a
price, though.
12-year-old say it's cool. I think we're being incredibly disingenuous.
I really
to
should make a
downplay
finance
how
channel.
insane of an accomplishment this project is. All right, so it's a free download, and booting it up. Like, this is a game platform and a game platform. You got regular Fortnite, Lego Fortnite, Fortnite
What?
Festival, Rocket
What?
Racing, plus these
What?
community creations.
What? What have they done to
all
Fortnite?
for
When?
free. And
When
they're
did this
constantly
happen?
Shaking up the core experience.
I went
with
to
changes
the
to map, or hell, find a
Invitational
brand new one
a couple
replacing
years
the
ago
old
in Raleigh. It
character
was
skins
awesome.
in collaboration with some of the
That's the
biggest
last time I
IPs
played it.
out there. I can play.
I was actually
Weezer
posted.
on the menu.
Weezer?
Can you do any of
I
this
saw
on WarioWare
Evanescence.
Move It? So then why the hell do I own this? I don't know how
Oh, that
many
thing's gone
games have
forever.
been this ambitious, delivered upon that ambition, while being free to play, with basically all in-game purchases being completely superfluous. Only things
Yeah.
you gotta pay for are the Weezer
Broccoli.
and the sword. This game is truly free to play. And with the amount of content
I
available,
actually have, like,
constant updates,
I think
and
I
a
still
huge
have the
community of
rarest
players, it
Fortnite
feels like
skin,
you're
or
genuinely a part of something
most
massive when
expensive
you
or
play
something.
this. Now, I don't mean to give off
Someone please tell Fortnite to f me.
sort of vibes, though. Hey, this is the live service game. But things weren't always like this. Fortnite launched.
Also,
in
how do you get
2017
Fortnite on a
as
disc?
A video game. It was initially an early access release you had to pay money for. Focused on this mode right here, Save the World. Basically,
Yeah.
a paid online co-op survival, not free game that cost money where you spent cash to fight off zombies for $40. It wasn't free. Nobody played it. But later on, they launched this free Battle Royale spin-off, which became Fortnite's main claim to fame.
Yeah.
And this was built upon
And then me and my
considerably
friends
over
cleaned
what, the coming months,
house
weeks, days.
for
They were updating
months,
this thing
and then
constantly.
building became
and
a
not only
thing,
were they
and then
introducing new features, they were
that,
rewarding
kinda
players for
ruined
tuning
everything.
in all day, every day.
Battle passes.
Limited time events, cosmetics, items, some that were genuinely
Like,
a
we
blink
literally
and you miss
won,
it
like,
moment.
one
And
out
to
of every,
get
like,
some of this
4
junk,
games.
You had to play a lot, and you couldn't just put it off, because if you did, the rewards you may be working towards wouldn't be available anymore. Things would happen within the game's world, like a meteor popping up, this rift. It spread word of mouth, like, damn, you gotta check in on Fortnite to see what's going on. They really cultivated
Nah.
something special here, building upon
I mean, there's
this
also, like, the
consistently from
custom
day
maps
one
that people
for
make.
years, to the point where I don't really think anybody can beat
I mean, that's
them.
like a
Yet they're still losing money in all this. Obviously,
What?
paying developers to
Epic Games
keep
actually- are they
developing a game
still
compared to a
headquarters in
one-and-done
Cary, North
project
Carolina?
is a fair bit more expensive, but damn, look at Fortnite. Look how much money you can make from doing something like this. That's what every game company is saying nowadays. And hey, you gotta spend money to make money. Look
Resident
at
Evil
Fortnite.
7.
That made billions of dollars, so sure, you can invest hundreds of millions
Concord,
into this live
oh.
service game project because
It's another,
people obviously
city in North
love
Carolina.
live service games. Look at Fortnite. So it'll make that money back and then some, because look at Fortnite.
deep building. Just I haven't
You
heard
know,
of
just look at
80%
Fortnite.
of those
The
games.
video game industry is run by people who know nothing about their products. They just look at numbers and make decisions based on that. Oh, Overwatch
Chart guys.
has over 50 million players, while
Does it
our
really?
game, I'm Cheap to Make and Begging for a Sequel, has only sold 5 million units? That's probably because it's not like Overwatch. Listen, I
That's the
understand
problem.
the need to experiment with what's wildly successful. And I'm not saying these companies shouldn't attempt live service projects. I'm saying they stink at it. But it's totally worth it to risk it all in a game that's designed from the get-go to cash in on what's popular, to attempt to appeal to an audience that'll never care about you, rather than use that money to make titles that your fan base actually wants. Look! Footage of somebody who agrees with this sentiment.
Oh no.
Hi, I'm a horrible person. I don't bathe.
Oh.
I smell.
Oh. I mean.
murder for immense pleasure.
Okay.
I stink.
So what exactly is a live service game?
Said the same thing
Just something
3
with
times.
consistent updates and in-game purchases? If so, I got
Apex
some
Legends.
bad news. Well, for me, I'd say it's much like a Denny's. I can't describe one, but I know it when I see it. Found it. Let's start with the main menu. A foot-long tab up top, all for me to explore with the shoulder buttons. Oh my god, this
Yeah.
game must have so much content if it has tabs.
I wonder if he's
Much
gonna talk
like
about
how
Rocket
I
League.
must have so many interests. Okay, so we have the store where I
What were
can
his tabs?
finally get this shit out of my pants.
Who has
The
50s, bro?
Battle pass. Oh boy, what's that?
Why are they always
Lucky these
$20?
pants got 2 pockets.
Why
and
does he
there's
have
the
more
cosmetics
50s?
tab, which lets us customize our character. with
Scott,
all
you're a
kinds of
YouTuber.
stuff.
Where do you get cash from?
We buy from the store. Thank God for cargos. Oh, my character's standing right there next to all different kinds of advertisements for better characters. Look at all these events going on. It's like I'm actually doing something. How do I do anything? No, seriously, look
I mean,
at
he
these
showed
menus. They're
a
so
clip of
bloated
Genshin
with
Impact.
a million options, and they use the tiniest buttons and fonts imaginable. Sometimes they'll play a video featuring all the crap in the latest update. Feels like the screen on a slot machine. But for all this junk they're pushing into my face, there must be a huge experience behind all this.
Nope.
I mean, why
Nope.
else would they let me spend hundreds of dollars on cosmetics if the game I use
I
them in
low-key
isn't
don't
worth
hate
a
the
damn?
menus.
Let's enter a match.
Oh. What game was he trying to play? What game is this? What game is this?
I bought cargo shorts for nothing? I feel that
Oh.
many of these live service games have decent gameplay at their core
And
that
then-
work well as traditional video
Well,
games. A full single-player campaign.
it could
with
be like,
actual level
you know,
designs, maybe local
EA
and
Sports
online
games where you
multiplayer
pay real
modes,
money for
standard price and
packs.
release,
You're not
nothing
guaranteed
special,
much of
but
anything.
This live service setup mucks up
And then a year
everything,
later,
as the entire
they move on to
game
the next
is now
game.
structured around online multiplayer, content updates, and monetization. Online multiplayer is great and everything,
Oh,
but when
1v1 me
that's
on
all
Rust,
your
bro.
game is,
What did they do to
you
Rust?
better have the content to back it up. But most of these games launch with
Let's Sea of Thieves?
nothing. Barely enough maps or characters or
What game is
variety
this?
to keep the constant loop of multiplayer
Oh,
interesting.
Mayhem?
All because you can just wait to put those out in the form of updates.
Oh,
but
that's
guess what?
Fall Guys. Yes.
That's
Still never
hard.
played it.
Especially
I've watched
when
the death
after
battle
you
though.
launch your live service game,
This is
many of
infinite.
the developers are going to be too busy maintaining everything and fixing issues. Plus, the higher-ups want to see revenue spikes as soon as possible, so it's easier to fart out some cosmetics for obscene prices, all while the substantial content takes longer than expected to
Yep.
finish. And
Oh,
you
Forge
gotta
mode, I
strike
remember
while
that.
the iron is hot, particularly when
God, I
that
haven't played
iron
Halo
is
Infinite
piss
in
cold to begin with.
Long
You
time.
know, cold like piss. My kidneys are shutting down.
You really gotta
Oh.
be on it to update these games as quickly as possible to maintain interest. I can't tell you how many games launch
don't even
with
get to play video
nothing,
games
and
anymore.
it takes like 2 months to get any updates of value. And the core gameplay being fine.
What is that
isn't
char-
good enough.
what in the world
designed
are
your
you? Are you
game
a
with
chicken?
All this garbage, expecting players to keep coming back day in and day out, spending all this money on useless junk just to express themselves. And the best you can say about your game is that it's fine. Listen, I play loads of fine games that don't have all this nonsense, make these many promises, ask me to tune in and play them every single day. So if you're gonna do this, actually do it. But nobody understands
But
what
they don't
goes
want
into
to do that
supporting
because
these
it's all
games
about money.
until they're actually out. Feels like these things are made for somebody who's missing something in their life. Like seriously, let me ask, why do you think your game is worth investing so much time and money into when there's all these other games
That's
doing
true.
the
Well,
same
PUBG,
thing,
I haven't thought
but
about that in a
it
while.
doesn't matter,
Well, there's
because the investors and CEOs are looking at the
Rocket League
handful of
mentioned.
live service game successes and going, well, damn, that's what the people want. Another Overwatch, Sea of Thieves, Fall
Yep.
Guys, Destiny. Now, here's
Yep.
what the people
They're
actually
all just
want.
knockoffs.
Kill me.
What the hell
Oh,
is this?
well.
Skull and Bones?
I don't think I've seen gameplay of
This
it.
bozo costs $70, and
And
that's
it's a
the cheapest
quadru-
version. And for what? Well, Ubisoft claims it's because Skull and
Yeah,
Bones
it is
ain't
Ubisoft.
just a game.
It's a quadruple A, yeah.
Quadruple A title, implying this is a blockbuster release of
GTA
a quality
6, which
that
is
no
coming
other
out
video
way
game
sooner than
has
I expected.
dare ever reached, in which players will have the look of childlike whimsy and joy on their face at what's in store for them. Look at me, quadruple A. What does the fourth A stand for?
Anybody?
Abstinence?
This game
Oh.
was announced at E3 2017. It released in 2024. And there's nothing wrong with that. this game. After being revealed as the spiritual successor to the fan-favorite Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, the project underwent many changes throughout the years until we settled on this. A lot can happen in
just
7 years.
Sea of Thieves.
You can delay your game 6 times, spend $200 million on it,
That's
receive
it?
funding from Singapore, and be contractually
Why?
obligated to release the game and not cancel it. Oh, and
Why
you
did
can
Singapore
make it to second
care?
grade now. Ubisoft made this a live service game because they don't care. I genuinely think they crossed their fingers that some weird would
It's
end up liking this game
$70
would
and
spend
it's
a
still a
ton of
live
their
service
money on
game.
it, which would potentially net them some cash in a freak accident sort of way. Because how could anybody think this would be enjoyed in any way? This game is directionless. There's nothing worth a damn in the whole package.
Isn't that kind
You
of
sail the seas, naval battle, find
Sea of
some
Thieves?
treasure. Sail the seas, naval battle.
Isn't that Sea of
find some
Thieves?
treasure.
Isn't that
Sail
game
the
only
seas,
fun if you
naval
have
battle,
friends,
find
like
some
most
treasure.
video
Sail the
games?
seas, naval battle, find some treasure. Sail the seas, naval battle, find some treasure. Sail the seas,
Unless Sea of Thieves got a massive update. It might have since
add a
I've last
talking
played.
dog or something. I don't
That's
know.
a lemur.
Mix it up. A core design element of live service games is a very obvious gameplay loop. They're designed to keep their hooks into you so you keep coming back.
That's
So many
Marvel
of them
Rivals. Wow, I haven't
are
thought
pretty
about that
repetitive,
game in a while
but
either.
Various elements help subside that repetition. Leveling up, new abilities,
Still haven't
upgrades,
played it.
collecting more and more loot, well-designed large maps.
played that-
substantial
I haven't played that
content
one in a while,
being
but I do
introduced
love
consistently.
Genshin.
And you know what? Bless its heart, Skull and Bones does a few of these things. Shame it isn't fun to begin with. For such a big experience, it feels so hollow. Yes, there is depth. If you really want to dig into this game, I'm sure you could.
That menu
But for
kinda
me
reminds me of
personally, after playing a few
Crossout, that
hours,
game where you,
I
like,
just
build
don't see
tanks,
it. This game
tank
is boring,
cars,
uninspired
Demolition
slop.
Derby thing.
There's barely any story, no interesting characters. For a quadruple A game, I don't think
Yeah.
it looks good. Characters are soulless husks with stiff animation. Oh, the opening cinematic.
So why did it
and
get
title
delayed
screen
6
look thrown
times?
together on a budget, and you have the gall to release this at full price with this giant in-game store filled to the brim with overpriced trash costumes? This costs $10. You know what else costs $10?
$10? Oh.
Here you go.
But hey, maybe this live service game just isn't for me. You know, I do have different tastes from a Skull and Bones enjoyer.
I don't like Skull and Bones.
It's
Oh,
okay,
well,
you know. Skull
who
and
is
Bones
the Skull
folks
and
call
Bones
for Skull
enjoyer?
and Bones strokes. Maybe I'm more into regular strokes.
I smell burnt toast.
It's
That's a
Square
stroke.
Enix's Foam Stars. A
Never
multiplayer
heard of this
all
game.
about gunking up the environment with all kinds
Splatoon.
of messy color. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bitch,
Splatoon.
this is Crayola Scoot. Free on
Yeah,
PlayStation
that's exactly where
consoles,
I was
a
thinking.
4v4 online shooter that rips off every last element of Splatoon except the Metacritic score. Doesn't really feel like they had some great idea here. Like, they must have been told, make a Splatoon-like game. Just make the ink... I don't care.
Foam.
And they are so lucky the developers picked Foam. This just isn't satisfying to play. Like, flat out, the game isn't fun. Which, yeah, that's a problem. Especially
yeah.
when they're pushing for all these microtransactions. When the game
Dude.
itself isn't very good, how can you expect anybody to care enough to invest
Literally
in it
last
like
week's
this?
game was game
See, I
prices.
don't think Square
Next
Enix
week's going to be the
thinks
one
all
for
too deep about
Halloween.
it.
It's
I
going
think
to
they
be
just look at
candy
the
games,
most
I
money they
believe.
could possibly make and say, that's it.
I know it was the most,
Screw
like,
morality
comment,
and
but
logic.
it would
We're
work better
Square
if
Enix,
I
and we
post
deserve to be making the biggest,
Halloween
most
Scott
popular,
Dawes video
profitable games on
October
planet.
30th.
Oh, we're known for classic RPGs? Well, damn it, that's not good enough. We need to capture the heart of the Western game.
No, I never had a
So
Whopper.
we got Marvel's Avengers from Square Enix back in 2020, which felt like perfect timing. I mean, right after Spider-Man on PS4, during the height of Marvel's popularity. This should have been a slam dunk.
Yeah,
But of
2020
course,
was
it was
the
a
height of
live
popularity.
service game. Why else would I be talking about it now? Like, oh, it was actually like Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge. I can imagine a world where we have an Avengers game with a single-player story mode campaign on the same level of Spider-Man PS4 that offers local and online co-op as an option. That world
Oh,
is not
okay.
here.
Then-
Our world is the one with Golden Corral. The Avengers game
okay.
we
Haven't
got is
been
an
there in
online-only
so long.
repetitive slog so focused around hooking a bunch of sad saps on its gameplay loop to ensure they squeeze some cash out of them as they're chemically addicted at this point that just comes off as desperate and greedy. Like, this wasn't done because it made sense for Avengers. They just wanted to make the most feels theoretically possible. But this backfired.
They wanted to be
tremendously.
ready to make
This game
money
doesn't
in the
feel
event that they
designed
were
around
able
being
to.
a live service. Feels like they wanted to make a traditional video game, then had to restructure it halfway through. Just 3 years later, they stopped supporting Avengers and
Oh.
removed it from digital storefronts.
Oh,
Was it worth it?
did people
Well,
get
the end goal was to
refunds?
waste nearly a decade of development and $300 million. They f***ed
fucked it up. They wasted 200 million.
Here we have Babylon's Fall, also published by
What?
Square Enix and developed by Platinum Games, announced at
Haven't
E3 2018,
heard of Platinum
hot
Games
off the
or this
heels of
game.
The success both companies had with Nier Automata. Man,
I have
that
heard of
game
that
was
one.
Damn good, and Square Enix is working with the developer again for a brand new project. Oh, god damn it! Babylon's Fall was envisioned as if Nier Automata never ended.
Really?
That sounds horrible! You know what made a game like this so beloved?
The ending?
It ended. You
Yeah.
had a complete experience, finally
Yeah.
crafted to be a video game you'd play, sit down, and go, well, damn, I went through that. Hell, one
Yeah,
of Automata's
that's
most
part of
iconic
the reason
elements
why Attack on
was
Titan
its
is so good
multiple
is
endings.
because
You had
of
to
the
finish
ending,
the game, look
for me,
back at
personally.
it, and go, damn. So how do you do that, but forever? You make it slow, barely involve any story, keep it incredibly generic, and tone down everything that made Nier Automata memorable and
Now, Game of
enjoyable,
Thrones,
so you can
that's
design the gameplay around quantity and not quality.
lost a
See,
lot.
I got this book here, and it'll last me forever. Just check how many pages it has. Nothing good lasts forever. Which is why Babylon's Fall was meant to. And it couldn't even do that! Platinum
already shut
Games
down.
invested in a new studio focused entirely on live service games. They bet big on this, and for it to come out the way it did says more about the game industry's cynical perspective on live service titles than anything. Like, you don't care. You
Yeah,
just
well,
think,
I mean,
oh,
people
well,
are
this is
voting
what
with
we
their
need to do to
wallets.
Make it big around here.
Good.
And it just shocks me with how much time, money, and manpower is needed to pour into these projects, how they come out so damn raw. Why does this game look and run like ass? This is
I
a
really wonder where the
PS5 game, and it
money
looks like a
comes from,
Nintendo
like the
Switch
budget.
version of a PS5
You know?
game.
Like, they say it
Babylon's
cost
Fall
all
felt
this
so
money,
cheap, cobbled
but
together,
are we
and
verifying
generic,
those numbers,
like it was
or-
churned out by a machine? So why would you ever think this is where I
Something-
want to spend
something's
the rest
up
of
with the
eternity?
numbers.
Well, why do I keep going back to the hee-haw slot machine at the local casino? Because that pays
Where's he playing
out.
at?
Hey, quality
Oh,
don't
really?
mean a damn thing as long as somebody's miserable enough to play your game. So if Babylon's Fall can just stick it out for a bit longer, give it some more time,
602?
maybe with some update.
Oh, well.
6 signatures. Babylon's Fall was taken
There's
offline
6
in record
signatures
time
on a petition to bring it
before
back.
its first birthday.
It didn't even last a year.
And since
oh,
most live
that's-
service
okay.
games are dependent on an internet connection, even if you aren't playing online multiplayer, it doesn't matter.
That's
the servers are down.
garbage.
Babylon's Fall
Wish
is
list?
no
Mm.
longer playable. That had to be one of the most impressive uses of fucking up I've ever seen.
Ooh, Concord. I've heard about this one. I remember Moist Critical talk about it. That thing is still sealed.
All right, let's get this
Is
over
he saving
with.
it for something?
Concord, one of Sony's many attempts at a live service multiplayer game since they were struggling so bad without one. And now, let's be fair here. As quality as Sony's first-party output on PlayStation consoles has been throughout the years, I think it's totally reasonable for them to notice a lack of big multiplayer exclusives in their portfolio. PlayStation's thing has primarily been single-player experiences, with third parties covering multiplayer for the most part. But that all changed with the
Bungie.
PlayStation 5, as Sony acquired Bungie for nearly $4 billion. The
Wow.
developers behind one of the biggest online multiplayer games out there is now
Is Destiny still
owned
popular?
by Sony. That's it. They didn't make Destiny a PlayStation exclusive or any of Bungie's games.
They just bought them.
Primarily just bought them so they could teach them how to make live service games. Their knowledge alone is worth $4 billion. Did you try just asking them?
I
I'm
mean,
sure
we
they would've
see
told you. And with
Ubisoft
that,
trying
Sony
and
committed
failing.
to launching more than 10 live service games by 2026.
How many have they launched? More than.
This is
have
totally
they?
just throwing all kinds of shit at the wall.
Dude, I
and
wanna
seeing what
race into
sticks.
them.
Like, there's no way they ever expected all of these games to do well. For
Helldivers.
some reason, Sony expected this one of the lot to do wonders. Concord, announced via a 50-second teaser during the PlayStation Showcase in 2023. This was their last game announcement before closing things out with extended gameplay of Spider-Man 2. Like, this was directly after the reveal of Bungie's game Marathon. Like, they thought
Haven't
this
heard
was
of
a
it.
big deal, even though this trailer showed nothing.
Yeah.
Get excited,
'Cause it
everybody.
probably wasn't
It's a
ready.
development team you've never heard of, making a new game with no gameplay, character, storylines, anything shown in the reveal trailer, and it's another live service. Okay, well, I'll get the first letter of the game tattooed, but I gotta see more for the rest. As more was revealed, Concord
Nice.
looked to be a clone of Overwatch. Why not just play Overwatch? The only things that
Yeah.
set Concord apart from Overwatch We're derivative of other pop culture franchises like Guardians of the Galaxy or Star Wars. Yet for some reason, Sony thought this game was going to be
There's
their
no way.
Star Wars.
There's
They
no
launched it
way
day and day on
these
PS5
numbers
and
are
PC
real.
for a larger player base, released a limited edition controller, hell, a bunch of random merch. Hell, they made a deal with the Amazon Prime anthology show Secret Level where each episode is
that?
based on a different video game. Concord got its own one. They did 2 PlayStation-themed episodes. One about PlayStation as a whole, featuring God of War, Little Big Planet, Shadow of the Colossus, Helldivers, and one based entirely on Concord. Why? What was it about this IP that had so much potential that Sony reportedly sunk hundreds of millions into development, purchasing the studio who had been working on this game since 2018, going about all these cross-promotional endeavors, all while I've been waiting for a new Ape Escape game for 15 years? Concord later launched... Well, no.
Did it launch?
No, it didn't. It lasted 2 weeks. That is insane, especially for a game of this magnitude that received
Dude, what do the
physical
numbers
copies.
have to
They issued
be?
refunds, immediately halted sales of the game
Like,
everywhere.
how
and put
bad do the
game
initial
offline
numbers
where
have
it would
to be in
figure out
order to,
what to do with it
you know,
later. They shut down the
cut it
studio
off that
and will
much?
never talk about this ever again.
Or
I just read the definition of solution.
It's pretty wild how Sony
Or are
went from
these companies just
overconfident to
using this for tax
underconfident in a matter
write-offs?
of days with this release. I mean, they could have
Saying
made
they cost a
Concord
bunch of
free to
money,
play or given it a little
giving them a
makeover
short
or
leash
something, but
to
honestly,
balance out.
what's the point? It's
the
not
successful
like Concord was
games.
a bad game or anything.
And they have
It
the
was just
potential to have the next
completely
Fortnite
unnecessary.
and
You have
make
a million
billions of
other
dollars
games
off
do
that.
Exactly
And if
this.
not, they just get a tax write-off?
What could you possibly do to drive up interest for a game that isn't interesting? You need a hook with games like these if you're expecting a player base to come back every single day. And as
Yeah.
serviceable and technically sound as Concord was, that's all it was. It was a functional, fine video game. And you ought to know, that don't mean it's worth playing. I was
Yep.
never upset at Concord's existence. I mean, have you seen how some people responded to it?
Now, I may not play video games, but I am not going to play Concord. And to prove it, that's all I'm going to talk about this
Yeah,
year.
just
One of the
gonna talk about
developers
Concord.
behind Concord tweeted back in 2015, "F tax season."
Valid.
But yeah, you know, I think that's pretty f***ed up. You know, taxes pay for a lot, especially as a father. They pay for the local schools and whatnot, so they're basically telling me to go f*** myself.
Scott, you're a
Somebody who
YouTuber. You have
loves
to pay
their
double
son more than
taxes.
anything. I hope he's doing okay. Haven't seen him in a few weeks, but these are the employees Sony wants? PlayStation is failing. Believe me, I know a failing business when I see one. I've run hundreds. We need to band together to rip
you run
the
hundreds of
stink
businesses,
out of
you
the video
do not
game
like
industry's
taxes.
ass and tell them these aren't the games we want. Oh, they just announced the game I want?
Oh.
Marathon!
Now, my problem is, how many times are we going to go through this? Live service games are not
Constantly.
sustainable. They can be really cool, but they are high risk, high reward.
Yep.
And even then, that reward is like...
Wait, this is
filled
Game
with
of
spiders.
Thrones.
It's just so deflating to see all these soulless projects pumped out, killing the studios that are working
They all
on them,
kinda
while
look
all these
similar.
companies are acting like it isn't feasible to release games any other way. It's so unfortunate because many of these products...
it's because
would
they're having to
be
keep up with the
pretty alright if
competition.
They didn't adhere to a blatant, repetitive gameplay loop. Suicide Squad actually has pretty fun movement and gunplay. Problem is,
That's a game?
That's all it has.
I've seen the first
game
movie.
Itself is so damn boring. You're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And seriously, a Suicide Squad live service game? Who the
With a
hell
battle
cares
pass.
about Suicide Squad enough to keep coming back day in and day out? Oh, I gotta log my showtime in. Multiverses had so much potential as a
I've heard of that
Smash
one.
Brothers competitor, but it has
Watched,
so
Life
much
Arrow
live
make-
service fun.
He made a
where,
video on this, didn't he?
It's free to play, entirely online dependent, super grindy. to
See,
get
if it's
new
free to
characters.
play,
It
that's
gets to a
fine.
point where I just don't have any fun with this at all. If this was a standard release with all characters available, some cool single-player content to go through, and good multiplayer
Wait,
support, I would play
that
it so
LeBron
much
James?
more. But that's just what live service is. Virgin repellent.
I don't know, man. I mean, live service games are meant to live on and get updates for years. What part of that sounds easy to all these companies who half-ass it? Like, how many live service successes could be classified as a fluke? Like, Marvel Rivals. You see how much stuff they pumped into this game at
I mean, that
launch?
game's a
Like,
success,
yeah,
isn't
of
it?
course it's gonna do well.
Been laid up. Why? Guess it's not doing well.
The hee-haw slot machine would never.
Nice. Yeah, next week's video should hopefully be candy games to celebrate Halloween, which is everyone's favorite holiday. I'm really looking forward to it. I have to work on it. I'm pretty sure I have to work on Christmas as well, and Christmas Eve, and Thanksgiving. Because all those, yep, I believe so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's no bueno. Thank you so much for watching this video. Shout out to the patrons. They get all the videos a day early. Could not do this if it was not for them. I've really been enjoying the Scott the Woz videos recently. Let me know what... Well, actually, let me know what the next couple ones should be, because next one is for sure going to be candy games, because it was the most like comment on last week's video. I just figured it would work better if I uploaded actually the day before Halloween instead of going in them out of order, and this is a better follow-up to last week's video, which was game prices, which was also a really good video, and I think another recent release from Scott the Woz. I'm learning about games I've never even heard of, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I look forward to reading your comments, but until next video, take care, and keep the music.
We were playing